is the new musical from Damien Chazelle, director and writer of Whiplash 2 years ago, one of my personal favorite movies ever. And this movie focuses on two characters, Mia, played by Emma Stone, who's an aspiring actress, and Ryan Gosling's character, Sebastian, who's an aspiring jazz piano player. And these two bump into each other and actually spark up a bit of a relationship, and we see their relationship grow throughout the rest of the movie. And that's all I'm going to say as far as plot goes with this movie, because surprisingly, this turned out to be a very unpredictable movie. Now, at first glance of this movie, you see a musical with Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. You're like, okay, it's a musical, maybe that's not my kind of thing. And then you find out who's behind it, Damien Chazelle, director of Whiplash, and I immediately got on board. And I'm not a necessarily big hater of musicals. I think musicals can be done extremely well, especially ones with Gene Kelly back in the old days. It's just that a lot of musicals nowadays I feel are done very wrong. Recently, a movie, Trolls, I think did it very wrong. Annie from 2 years ago. The High School Musical movies in general do it wrong. So I had really high hopes for this movie. I was hoping that this could be the musical movie to actually take notes from. And this movie is a triumph, not just for a musical, but for a movie in general. You might be really surprised by this, but I was actually blown away by La La Land by every second of this movie. Every shot, I was blown away by this movie. After the first tap dance musical number, the opening sequence on the highway, I literally knew just from that scene that I was going to love this movie, and I did. And this movie really showed to me how passionate Damien Chazelle really was about this project, because you could feel the love for this movie during every frame of this film. Frames that are beautifully shot, by the way. The cinematography is excellent here. The colors look really great, especially one scene where Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling dance at the top of this mountain at nighttime, and it's tap dance, and the color just looks beautiful. The direction here is seriously some of the best direction of the entire year. Damien Chazelle is a master at this. 2 movies, Whiplash and this. Damien Chazelle has proven that he's a force to be reckoned with those 2 movies, and I cannot wait to see what else he does in the future, because he's seriously turning into one of my favorite directors. It's Steven Spielberg, Christopher Nolan, Edgar Wright, and Damien Chazelle. Now, a lot of people might be wondering, well, it's just a romance musical. How can this be spectacular? Because this is one of the best romance movies I've ever seen, because this movie actually turns out to be quite unpredictable. It doesn't hit a lot of the beats that some romance movies do. There's some parts where they kind of veer away from that, and I was like, whoa, I did not expect this at all. There's some moments in this story where I literally was just like, oh, you're actually doing it like this. Okay then. And you actually do get really attached to this story. You get really attached to this because of the characters you are following, Sebastian and Mia, played by Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. These two are just awesome together. They've proven that they have great chemistry with each other in movies like Crazy Stupid Love and Gangster Squad, and this movie once again proves that. I could relate to Ryan Gosling a lot in this movie because he has a really great passion for jazz music, and he loves playing jazz music. He doesn't like a lot of the new stuff, and I related to that a lot because that's pretty much how I am about music. I like a lot of jazz, not really that into the new modern stuff. And even Emma Stone's character, who wants to be an actress, she goes to many auditions, but she doesn't really get the respect she deserves. Not too many people are actually paying attention to her audition, and you actually feel for her character, the struggles that she's going through. You can understand the emotions going on in her brain. And when these two are on screen together talking to each other, it feels so natural. The relationship here seems real, which makes me want to ask, I know Ryan Gosling's married, I think, but are these two dating? Are they secretly dating? Because I wouldn't be surprised by that at this point. Their chemistry is just so natural here. When they talk to each other, it feels like an actual relationship that you're watching. And that actually got me hooked to the story, because I'm not watching a Hollywood romance here. I'm watching a romance that seems real. And of course, the big standout of this movie, the music, the dancing, and the singing. The musical aspect of this movie as a whole. Mwah. Mwah. Beautiful stuff. As soon as I got home, I played both the score and the actual soundtrack of this movie. because that's how much I loved it. There are so many moments when they're playing music, and just certain keys and notes that they would hit almost move me to tears. Like the opening sequence that I mentioned where I said as soon as I saw it I was gonna love the rest of the movie, I was literally almost moved to tears by that in just the first 30 seconds. And of course there are obviously some moments where I was almost close to crying during some aspects of the story, but it was mainly the musical parts where they were playing the music where I was pretty much almost about to cry. I didn't cry though, just I was about to. I know my sister cried a few times. This movie is pretty much a love letter to me because I am a big fan of jazz, classic Gene Kelly musicals where he tap dances. The tap dancing here is spectacular. It's awesome. Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling particularly have one great scene where they tap dance together and it's beautiful. There's a lot of tap dance in this movie and it's all wonderful to watch, brilliantly choreographed. There's several tracking shots in this movie where people are singing and dancing, like the opening sequence, for example, that is all made to look like one shot, and it just made me think, how did you do this? Like, this seems very complicated to do in just one shot. How, especially in this particular setting, how did you do this, Damien? The singing is also really good. Emma Stone in particular blew me away. Her singing voice is honestly incredible. And even John Legend sang really well in this movie. He has a song that was really good. And John Legend was also just a pleasant addition to the supporting cast of this movie. And I wanted to mention this guy real quick before I wrap this review up. J.K. Simmons does show up. He's in it for 2 scenes, but he's incredible in it. It's just he only has 2 scenes, and he's still really good. Just Damien Chazelle, listen, man. You gotta hire J.K. Simmons in every movie you do. Okay, you just have to do it at this point. Overall, La La Land was magical. It's an experience that you cannot miss out on. It literally felt like a classic musical just done with new technology. I think if this movie was done back in the day, Gene Kelly might have done it. I'm gonna give La La Land an A+. It has the best direction, best acting, best cinematography, best soundtrack, best screenplay of the whole year, and it is my favorite film of the entire year. Please don't miss out on this piece of art. But if you've seen La La Land, leave in the comments below what you thought of it. And I'm going to have one more review up for you guys before I do my top 15 best and top 15 worst of the year. That's right, I'm stretching the top 10s to 15s because I've seen a lot of great movies this year. And for every great movie I've seen a movie that is so bad. So it only made sense that I stretch out the list. So I'll see you guys in my review for Hacksaw Ridge next, and then my top 15 list. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.